Here we are at the Howard Stern Show. Love it. Outside the window, New York City. Beautiful city. And we're ready to roll. We're going to hold us for 1 minute and then we're going in.
What are you expecting today?
I'm expecting nothing and I'm hoping for the best. Better be good, Howard.
I'm a little nervous to meet Paul McCartney. I mean, reason I had long hair was Paul McCartney.
A lot of people could say that.
And thank God for that, because have you ever seen me with short hair?
If they had never come along, you would have short hair.
Yeah, I love the Beatles, and I love Paul McCartney, and this is very exciting for me. Ozzy's out there meeting Paul now.
Yeah, it's like a summit meeting.
It's like a summit meeting.
Oh, God, no, you're not letting him in. Oh, bloody hell. Hello, darling.
How you doing?
Oh, yeah, all right, lovely, yeah.
Finally I'll get to meet you.
We get to meet, fucking hell. And I was just saying to the guys why I didn't do the bass, because I didn't want to blow your guy out. I only would have played what he played.
But
And because you were threatening to sing on mine, I don't know.
it's great to meet you, man. It's been a lifetime ambition of mine. You guys made me start music, you know.
Yeah. After the burglary.
Yeah.
After the burglary. I love that story, man, with the gloves with no fingers.
Yeah, that's typical me, that is.
Come on, let's have a quick piggy. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. That track turned out good, did it? Okay.
Whoa, look at this.
Oh, my God.
Look at you.
Wow. It's really him. It's
wow,
not an
this is
imposter.
exciting. This is exciting. Hi, Paul. Nice to meet you.
Wow. You know, now I'm thinking back to the first time I saw him and Ed Sullivan and the whole thing.
How you doing, Paul? Good to see you.
I'm good, thanks, yeah.
You look well.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Oh, man, I got to just soak this in that I'm sitting here with you. That's pretty amazing.
You've got to soak it in. What about me?
I have a million questions.
Yeah.
A zillion questions.
Yeah. Well,
for
they
you.
warned me not to do this show, you know, Howard. And I said,
Who
he's going to be
warned
cool.
you?
How does that work?
Like everyone?
Yeah. How did you end up doing this show?
Because I said, I don't take your warnings too seriously. I'm going to go meet the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a bad human being. I've had Ringo on twice.
Oh, well, that's fine.
You know, we've
I'm
tried
okay
to.
then.
Yeah.
If he came back, I'm all right.
All right.
We've tried to have Paul on many, many times. We tried to hook him up a number of times for your birthday show because I thought that would be a good present for you, and somehow we could never make it happen. But you weren't completely opposed.
Paul, have you ever heard this show before?
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Heard and seen.
Really? Where do you hear this show? I mean, where are you that you would be hearing it?
Just in New York.
You will actually be in your house and tune it in?
Yeah, in the car mainly.
Really? You drive your own car?
Not in. I do actually, but not now in New York.
Right.
In fact, that was one of the guys, George, my driver. He said, "Don't do it.
He said not to do
Don't
it.
do it." He said, "It's down and dirty."
What do you think that I would ask you? That,
I said, "I know it's down and dirty."
No, I've actually been very complimentary to you.
know.
I've always said, first of all, and Robin doesn't agree with me or can't believe it.
It's a myth, and you're believing it.
You've got to be the most loving man that I have ever known. No, but in all seriousness, the fact that you, as a rock star, the biggest rock star on the planet, who could get any girl you wanted, the fact that you married Linda, stayed married, and from what I understand, you were apart from her for 1 day.
Aside from that jail thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was the
day.
That was it was 9 days actually.
Oh, okay.
If that's what I always wanted to ask you. Why bring pot into Japan anyway?
Tell me about it. Listen,
I mean, you could score
do you
in.
think I ask myself that like every day now? You know what it was? It was the times, Howard.
Right. You just had it with
Cast
you.
your mind back to then when everyone was doing all that.
But it does seem amazing that someone would bust anyone for pot anyway, and I guess you forget.
Well, no, in Japan we were warned. They said, look, whatever you do, don't take pot in. They said, you know what it's like in America? It's kind of, sort of loose attitude.
Right.
Britain, bit looser. Don't go into Japan with it. It's 7 years hard labor. And the terrible thing was, it was just stupid. I had some stuff, and it was just arrogant. I just thought, you know what? They'll never boss me.
Right.
And I can't believe to this day that I did it. It was just like, and the shot.
Because
How did they find it?
Yeah, how did they find it?
But it was right in the suitcase.
And
it was not even,
It wasn't even under anything.
You packed it.
I packed it.
And was it a lot of pot, or was it just...
It was way too much.
Really?
Honestly, I mean, and I got there, and I said, well, what's the thing? They said 7 years hard labor.
Wow. And were you
Don't
afraid...
remind me.
Were you afraid they would set an example with you and actually put you in jail for 7 years?
Yeah, I was looking at my kids speaking Japanese and being brought up in Tokyo.
When you go over to Japan, you miss your wife for 1 day or whatever.
9 days.
Yeah, whatever it is, 9 days. And the fact of the matter is that you're the Beatles, you're Paul McCartney, you could have any woman you want. The fact that your marriage lasted, the fact that you could not only love her that much, but you could feel that love from one person. That you didn't need the love of 30 women or the whole world. One person's love was enough for you. I find that mind-blowing.
Well,
I do.
He did have kids. I think they loved him too.
Yeah, but that's not the point.
No, but you're right. Don't think I don't sort of think that. It's like before Linda, it wasn't thus. Right. It was the rock star thing. And,
Was it really, though? I mean, you banged tons of women.
I wouldn't put it quite that way, but I had relationships with many very nice people.
A relationship because you wouldn't use people. In other words, you didn't want to use
it was the typical male chauvinist, that kind of thing.
You had one-night stands.
Yeah, it was a lot of that.
He just calls a
But then when I met Linda, it just was different. And I think both of us had got that out of the way, and we were kind of fed up with it. And so we fell in love.
Right.
That's all it was.
And it lasted.
And it lasted, yeah.
That's pretty amazing. And then I figured when you got single, you were going to go nuts. And the only person I heard that you dated besides your girlfriend now, your fiance now, was, who the hell was it that you were dating? Oh, Bo Derek.
No.
You never had her?
No, I'd never met her.
You didn't?
No.
It was right away to Heather, and then you fell in love again. So maybe you're just one of those commitment guys.
I think I probably am, but it is strange. A couple of people say, well, she's the first one you met, after Linda, what is going on? It was 15 months, after Linda died. And to tell you the truth, I wasn't sure whether I was just going to kind of become a monk. Right. Because there was that idea, that, wait a minute, this was the woman you loved. You'll never love another. You'll never be able to find anyone as good.
Right. I mean, I don't think there's another rock star on the planet who took his wife out on tour. You normally would go away from your wife so you could have sex with other chicks.
I know.
You put her in the band.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's amazing, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, like I say, we were in love. What are you going to do?
And John Lennon is the peace and love guy, but yet even with Yoko, he bailed on her. I mean, he had to go out and have his wild weekend or whatever the hell they called it, right? He went off with May Pang. You were really the peace and love guy.
I suppose so. I really, I'm like you. I'm a bit amazed at it, but right. I got lucky. And I think you're right. I am that kind of commitment kind of guy. If you're lucky to find someone who satisfies you in all ways, then you stick with her.
Let me understand something. What's going on with your kids? They don't like the idea that you're getting married. I understand why.
They didn't.
But they do
okay
now?
Yeah, they're much better now.
So there was truth to that rumor.
Of course.
There was truth to that rumor, yeah. Well, the thing is, it's very difficult.
I don't know if I like you getting married.
You're one of his kids.
Yeah.
What do you think, Howard? I mean,
well,
I need to know. I need your approval.
I don't see why you need to be married at this point. You're not going to have more children, I don't think.
How do you know?
Well, wait a minute. Could I not be in love?
You could be in love, but why the convention of marriage? I mean, after all, you're a free thinker.
Yeah, but maybe I like it.
But
maybe
what does
there's something to marriage that's nice and is sort of romantic.
Yes.
But wait
Have
a
you
minute.
thought about that?
But what do you do? Yeah.
What does it do? It's just a piece of paper.
Yeah, sure.
It's just saying some words.
Have you had problems in this area?
No, I'm just asking you.
Robin.
What difference does it make? I mean, you're together.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're having a great time.
No, I know that.
I think she's putting pressure on you.
I understand. It's okay.
Right.
I'm ready for this pressure.
You are.
You're sure.
You don't feel
Howard Stern show?
Yes.
You're
You're doing a lot of wild things.
I take a few pills before I came on.
Yeah, but the kids don't like it probably. They've got to be worried about inheritances. Now,
what do you do about it?
What are you going to do about that?
I don't think it's that so much. I think really, number one, it's not as serious as it was. The kids are getting with the program and are understanding that whatever makes me happy is what they should let me do.
Were they not talking to you for a while because of this?
No, it was never that bad. No,
but they wouldn't hang out with you and Heather?
No, it wasn't even that bad.
It was
just
bad.
No, it was tiny little
idea.
things. It was just, there just wasn't a kind of, that's a great thing, Dad, to have happen, And because of the weirdness, because, she's a lot younger than I am. I've got a daughter older than her. So, that immediately freaked me out, never mind them.
Right.
But the thing is, if you love someone, all of that stuff can go away.
Have you sat the kids down and said, listen, your inheritance is not going to be touched. There's many millions
What is
here.
the inheritance?
Yeah, what is the inheritance? Tell me how you work it. Here you are, Paul McCartney. You're worth $1 billion, at least $1 billion, because you're a brilliant businessman. It's ironic how brilliant you are, and yet you don't own the rights to your own songs.
Well, that's another story altogether. Let me just finish up on the kids.
All right, go ahead.
Originally, they were a bit worried because I had suddenly got into another relationship 15 months after Linda died. I think the shock of that
was it weird having sex the first time after
with a different
woman?
I'm not going to go into that.
You had to be treated tenderly. I
know I'm not going to go into it.
It's so romantic.
I love you. I love your show.
What you did.
But there are
I don't want to know exactly what you did.
You don't?
No, I mean, it had to be weird to be with somebody on an emotional level like that, or was it like, holy cow, this is great?
No, it was. For me to know and for you not to know.
How long did
There
it
are
take?
certain things in my life, even though I'm on this big show, I'm not going to tell you. Let me just finish.
You felt disloyal. You felt disloyal being romantic. You felt disloyal.
Okay, I'll tell you what I felt.
All right, go ahead. Now we're getting somewhere.
I felt guilty.
You did.
Because, I've been married for 30 years, and it was a great marriage. And the minute I had to kind of look in my head and kind of talk to Linda and say, "Hey, babe, what do you think about this? This is like
You
really
talked to
weird."
Linda?
Yeah, in my mind.
Come on, you know what it is. Not for real. Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
Sorry,
but it's strange when you lose someone like that. I don't know if you've been through anything like this, lost someone really dear to you.
Nobody's dear to me. That's the problem. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. No, you're so much a better man than I am. Go ahead. No, I understand what you're saying.
No. It is weird. We're getting into a weird area here, and I wouldn't have thought this would happen to me because I'm normally quite sort of practical, rational. But I would occasionally kind of talk to Linda and sort of say, "What do you think I should do, babe? Give me some guidance here." And you're talking to yourself, but in a way, you can get a connection. I'm not sure it's like, an actual sort of spiritual connection or whatever. But the kind of weird thing would happen to me would be that I would be thinking that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, look, I'm getting into another relationship and I feel really guilty about this, but you're not here. What do you think about it? And I tell you, weird things would happen. I mean, on that occasion this is very private. My kids will kill me.
Go ahead.
Talking like this.
Who cares about that?
Go ahead.
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's who.
I do too.
So, and I said, what do you think, babe? Is this okay? Is this okay? It feels okay to me. Do you feel okay with it? Down in the valley, it was out in the country, a little owl goes, ooh. Well, I took that as a sign of, yeah, it's okay.
That sounds like a no to me.
Wait a minute.
Exactly.
Who is she? Who are you talking about?
No. This little owl went, no.
But I'm laughing to myself because he's having the conversation with himself, really, about whether he should have sex with another girl. Of course the answer is going to be yes.
Of course, the owl said yes.
Yeah.
You could have taken that owl to say no.
Yeah, exactly.
But the kids freak out.
But I'm in heavy therapy after all of this, so
are
don't
you in
worry
therapy?
about me. No, I'm not.
You were not?
No.
Have you ever been in therapy?
Yeah, after Linda died, I kind of saw...
And does the shrink go, oh my God, this is so great. I got Paul McCartney on the couch.
Do they get over it?
Yeah, no, they don't. They get on the couch with me.
Yeah, right. Now, here's the thing that I'm wondering, because you are a brilliant businessman, and Michael Jackson owns all your songs and all that stuff. But the fact,
Sony.
Yeah, but you got to be worth like a billion now. Because
I don't know.
I'm telling you are.
Yeah.
Well, they say it anyway. You were announced as the first billionaire to get it from music.
Yeah, Paul,
that's what I was announced as, yeah.
But you've always lived like a pretty moderate life. You raised you sent the kids to public school, right?
Uh-huh.
And you made an effort to just sort of live among people, not to live this like royal lifestyle.
Yeah,
you don't have a castle. You don't have tons of servants.
Right.
So the thing is, though, that the kids are probably thinking, geez, why don't we live like kings and queens?
Where is the money?
Yeah, where the hell is the money and what are we saving it for? I mean, why don't we live a little bit better?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did the kids ever say that to you?
No, it was really kind of... I grew up kind of had an ordinary life, ordinary upbringing, and the thing I thought was good about that is that I can talk to anyone. guy in the street. Anyway, I really actually enjoy that. You know, it may sound like I'm being, man of the people, but I really do enjoy that. Say, hey, Paul, like in New York, for instance, it's very handy that I don't go, get away from me, you.
Right. You're a man of the people.
So I like that. And I wanted my kids to have that, because the big danger when you've got money in the family is the kids go to these private schools and they all suddenly cannot talk to the mailman. And they sort of, who is this person, Daddy, in our house? Right. So we it was a conscious decision we made to bring them up that way. Now, now they're older, now they can move into the higher life, and that's what they've done. They now do have cars, houses, flash.
What do they get, like a
Do
trust
they have
fund?
to buy them themselves?
No, they don't get anything, man.
They get nothing from you?
Well, no, they get stuff from
a little
me,
something.
Yeah, but the thing is, I talked to a couple of friends of mine, with Dave Gilmour, for instance.
Right.
Doesn't really want to give his kids like a whole big bunch of money.
Right.
Because you forget you've got to work for it yourself.
But then when you pass away, most of the money's going to go to the kids, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Uh-huh.
And are they afraid that Heather's going to get all the money?
No.
There's none of those issues.
No, I talked to them about this. I said, look, I'm in a new relationship. This will alter things somewhat, but don't worry. I'm a good guy. I've got it all sorted.
And you got to sign the prenup with Heather and all that kind of thing? That's got to be uncomfortable. Oh, you don't care about that. No prenup.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, of course you got to do one. Come on.
No, man. Didn't Michael Douglas do one, and then he's kind of cancelled it?
He ripped it up.
But they said
cool.
that doesn't count.
He's insane.
Yeah, but he's a moron. He's not a Beatle.
You know what? He might just be in love.
Yeah. The funny story to me, though, business-wise, and I want to get to the new single and all that. I know that's what we're here to talk about. But the fact of the matter is, you were the guy who said to Michael Jackson, you should get into publishing.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Don't you love the irony?
And he bought all your songs.
Yeah.
And you said to him, listen, I'll give you fair market value. Let me buy my songs. I want to own them. And he won't do it.
No.
And now that he has
Scumbag.
He's sort of using them as leverage for his own financial problems.
It's a funny thing. We had quite a good little relationship. He rang me up one Christmas Day, I think it was, and I heard this. Hello?
He's very weird.
Paul?
Yeah.
I said, hello, is this? I thought, wait a minute, this American fan's got my home phone number.
Right.
This is weird. I said, hello, yes.
Yeah,
no, he's not here.
Yeah.
So, hi, Paul. So, anyway, he came over. I said, what do you want to do? He said, make some hits. I said, well, that sounds good. So we got a little relationship there. It was quite good fun. And it is true, he did ask me, he said, got some advice, Paul? Yeah. I took him aside and said, diddle-a-diddle, and think about getting into music publishing. And I thought he was joking. He said, I'm going to get yours. Well, I went, he slapped him on the back. Right. Good one, I thought that was a joke. And then I just got rung up and said, he's got yours. Oh. And I thought, hey, you know what is weird? I don't mind that, because he had business, all the cash, someone was selling it, and he bought it. What I don't like is that I've actually written to him a couple of times with Dish in the Dirt. Howard, you got me at it.
Go ahead, yes.
I don't normally
You wrote him a couple of letters.
Wrote him a couple of letters saying, Michael, don't you think after, even if I was just a writer on the payroll, after 30 years of being reasonably successful for this company you now own, don't you think I could have a raise?
Yeah.
And, he said, well, that's just business. I said, yeah.
Yeah.
And we've never talked about it. He won't even answer my letters.
Oh, my
so,
God.
You know what? If we haven't got that great a relationship.
Not anymore, huh?
That pisses
but
me
I did
off.
read
I
recently,
met him once, and I thought he was the oddest human being I ever met.
But I did read recently that because of some cash flow problems he's having, aren't your songs up for grabs?
In fact, this might be a good time for me and you to go in and buy these songs.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Sony
I
could
think
wind
it
up
may be
owning all
true.
of them,
I don't know. You never know what's room and what isn't. I don't have access to his accounts, but I do. That may be true. I know you do.
I have access to everyone's accounts.
We could go and buy them, but the trouble is, I wrote them for nothing.
Right.
And buying them back at these phenomenal sums, it's just...
It rubs you the wrong way.
I can't do it,
should.
Now, you seem like such a great guy that you don't say anything bad about anybody.
Well, you know what? The thing is, I do off radio.
You do?
Yeah, sure. If we were having dinner, I'll dish the dirt with you.
Any chance I'd have dinner with you? I don't think so.
Tonight. What are you doing tonight?
You don't want to be with me. Trust me. I'm a miserable person.
Why are you talking him out of it?
Because he doesn't really want to.
He said he could hang out with regular people.
Howard's right. I don't really want to.
If you want to hang out with regular people, I'm about as regular as they get.
Yeah, you want to get a beer, Paul?
Yeah. Artie will take you to the track.
You want to
Come on, let's do it, man.
Whatever you want to do, man.
No, but you see, is there anyone, I know you badmouth Oasis. You said they are horrible.
You know what? Did I? No, I was asked. The trouble is, everyone, because they're so Beatley, people say, "What do you think about Oasis?"
Right.
And I got fed up of being asked. I started off saying, "They're okay. Hey, I wish them good luck. They're young guys. It's difficult out there. I wish anyone, just trying to help, kind of thing." But then they started to badmouth us and stuff.
Badmouth the Beatles.
Yeah, they
Really?
started to say we're much better, man.
Yeah.
They go,
So that
"Oh,
got
oh, yeah,
that
Oh,
got
yeah."
you. That got to you.
Yeah, sure, And in the end, then I just I didn't really badmouth them too much. I just said I think they're slightly derivative.
Yeah, I would say very derivative. How could they
Very, yeah.
badmouth the Beatles? I mean, after all,
Well,
okay.
they thought they were better.
Who do you like now?
Beside me,
Who do I like now?
Music.
I don't know, really.
In sync.
I
Insane.
don't really listen to them awful much. There's some Asian guy in England called Nitin Sawhney who puts together some cool stuff.
really?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of old stuff as well. Marvin Gaye and
Yeah, me
things
too.
like
I listen to
that,
Marvin Gaye.
Oh, get
Nat
outta
King
here.
Cole.
Nat
Wouldn't
King
be able
Cole,
to
I don't
mention,
listen to.
That's beautiful.
I like Marvin
song.
Gaye.
Name one of his songs.
There's a million songs. What's going
Why
on?
not?
Man, come on.
Fine.
What are you acting like I don't listen to Marvin Gaye?
Yeah.
I'm going in to look in your collection.
Heard it through the grapevine.
All right. Isn't it true that you knew Yoko first and you passed her off to John?
Well, now, the terrible thing is, man, time and memory. Now, I was just listening to the show coming over on Aussie. I
Yes.
can't remember yesterday.
Yes, right, yeah.
I love him.
Did you meet Ozzy out in the hall?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
He was very
we
excited about meeting
We
you.
finally met.
What, did you understand a word he said?
Oh, sure.
You did, yeah.
Right?
Every
He talks
other
lovely.
word
I
is
love the way he talks.
Did you
Smashing
like
like,
Ozzy's music,
He's
or-
Christ. Oh, yeah, he's Christ. I love it, yeah.
So when you met Yoko,
Yeah.
she claimed
Well, no-
she didn't know who the Beatles were, but meanwhile she knew who the Beatles were
She had
because
met him.
she met you.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I have like my version of the story.
What is your
and
version?
My version is that we were in London and Yoko came around to my house, knocking on the door. Someone said, there's this Japanese lady outside there. And I said, okay, let her in, because
Right.
I was very that those days.
Why would you let a Japanese lady in?
I let everyone in.
Okay.
I let Mr. Kite in.
Really?
I had Jesus one night.
Really?
Yeah, it was
A guy who was delusional and thought he was Jesus came to your door and you let him in.
Maybe. Or maybe he was.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe he was.
I never made up my mind on that one.
Right.
But in those days, people who came around like that, I was living on my own, so I would just say, well, come on in and have a cup of tea, we'll have a talk.
Right. So this is before Linda, you're single.
Yeah.
And Yoko knocks on the door.
My recollection, against the allegation, is that she came in and she said, it's John Cage's birthday, and us artists want to collect a bunch of manuscripts to give him for his, whatever it was, 60th or something birthday.
Right.
And I thought immediately, I don't really want to do this.
Right.
I thought, but because I don't like to give away the stuff, I like to keep that stuff where we wrote, yesterday on the back of an envelope.
Right. In other words, you don't auction that stuff off and stuff like that. You say, hey, I wrote this. I want to own it.
Give it to my kids maybe or
Right.
something.
Means something to you.
So I wasn't that keen to give it away. But I just thought, you said, but my friend John might.
Right.
And that's my recollection that I then said, and he lives here, and she went to see him.
Did she offer herself to you sexually?
No.
She did not. Did you
She
get
did
the
not.
impression that she was there in order to score a Beatle, so to speak?
No, I
she
didn't.
was
It was
very
all
well-
above board.
You're saying that with a
aware
smile.
that there was she knew of the Beatles.
I don't know.
But of course, I mean, if she knocked on your door, she knew you were a Beatle.
And if she wanted a manuscript of
Right.
what? Of John Doe?
Right. So
Yeah.
didn't you, in fact, laugh at her years later when she said, I didn't know who Jean was. I don't know Beatles. I never heard. You knew that was not true.
I don't know, man. I tell you, live and let live. It's too sort of, life's too short for all that stuff. We've been through
But you also
all
have
that.
to share, you have to call her regularly to do Beatles business, right? So you have to get along with her.
Yeah, to some degree,
So
exactly.
if in fact you said here today that Yoko in fact wanted you sexually and in fact knew who the Beatles were,
Yeah.
it would probably screw up your business dealings
I'd
with
be
her.
dead meat.
Yeah, you would be dead
Dead
meat
meat.
in those meetings.
No, it's, we haven't got the greatest relationship, that's true, but we get on. We're okay.
You do?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Why were you not at the recent John Lennon tribute thing? Were you asked to be there?
I was asked to be there, yeah. I had other things to do, number one, but the thing for me is it's kind of difficult. I think anyone else, like Elvis Costello or somebody like this, going up and doing John stuff is one thing.
Right.
Me doing it, it's a different thing. It's
Would have been weird.
It's a bit weird for me, tell you the truth, sort of get up. The only time I ever did one of John's things was I went back to Liverpool, and it was kind of, return to the old home city, and I finished with Give Peace a Chance.
Right.
And so that was like really great to do on my own terms.
Right.
But sort of part of one of those sort of, package.
I think it's beneath you, actually.
Well, I don't know about that.
I do.
But,
with some of those lesser stars, you're the number one guy. When the thing that bothers me,
yeah,
I don't mean to harp on Yoko, but the thing that bothers me is the way John didn't provide in a will for Julian. I feel like he's the son who's always left out. And I've had Julian on the show many times, and I'm angry for him. I feel that he didn't get a share of John's wealth.
He didn't get John.
He didn't get John.
No,
he didn't get a share of John's wealth. And I think that while money isn't everything, it would have been at least a way of a father to remember his son.
Sure.
And to take care of him.
Plus, just like Paul says, he would like to leave some of his things
to his kids.
Julian doesn't have that either.
And why was Yoko not inviting Julian to this tribute? Why is it always Sean? I mean, do you know what I'm talking about?
I really do, Howard. But the thing is, tell you the truth, I really don't want to get into that.
Oh, I do.
Because I know you do.
And you know what?
If we weren't with 6 million listeners, I might talk to you, baby.
Really?
But I'm not going on there in public doing that.
You don't want to
stuff.
ruin your whole relationship with Yoko right here,
Really,
and then
no.
Exactly. Because to me, if you did it, it would be great.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a great idea.
Why not have it all out right now?
Let me tell you, baby.
All right, here's another weird thing. I'm jumping all over the place. When I heard the story that Brian Epstein gave oral sex to John Lennon. Now, did you know about that was going on at the time?
I heard that story afterwards.
Yes.
My theory is much, unfortunately, it's not quite as sensational. What happened was, Brian being the manager, John was very political animal.
Right.
And Brian was going on holiday to Spain.
Right.
Now, he asked John. I think he fancied John.
Yeah. Why
now,
not you? You were the good looking one.
Well, no, that's what I wondered.
Yeah.
At the time.
Were you upset?
Tell you the truth, I would have gone.
You would have.
Are you kidding?
You would have you would have let. You would have gone on vacation with
kids. Any kids at the age we were would and offer to go to Spain.
Yes.
Whoa.
Why not?
With anyone.
Right.
It wouldn't matter who. And I think John. This is my theory. John went with Brian, and I don't know if anything happened because I wasn't there.
Right.
There's rumours there was. I suspect not. But I know what John Willis said. In my mind, John Willis said, listen, you want to deal with the Beatles, deal with me.
Right.
I'm the guy. I'm the leader. Just do it all through me. And I think John would take that opportunity for like a little political manoeuvring. I could see that.
Yeah.
When he got back, nothing appeared to have happened. He didn't sort of suddenly wasn't wearing a frock or something.
Right. It was just like something might have happened when
Well, the rumors came later because he'd gone on holiday with a gay guy.
Right.
But I tell you the truth, I went to Paris often with this gay friend of mine who was an art dealer, and the people would say, Paul, he's just gay as it comes. Were you going to Paris with him?
Right.
I said, is he all right? I'm quite secure in my sexuality, and he's not going to hit on me.
Gay guys must have hit on you in your especially the early Beatles days.
You know what? No, it's
really.
I'm
shocked.
I wonder why, Howard.
You've never had a gay
what's wrong with
experience?
me? No.
Even when you were young, no towel snapping incident or sword fights? Nothing?
Towel snapping, maybe just a little in the
little bit of
shower.
sword fight?
But I'm just wondering if he had gone on vacation with Brian and Brian had made some overtures, what would have happened?
What would I have done? I don't know.
I don't think you would have gone for it, I'll tell you that.
No, you know what? Let's face it, I had plenty of opportunities through the years to do all that. And let me just finish on the John thing.
Yeah.
Because, I don't think it is true. I'll tell you why. Because I slept with him 1,000,000 times.
And he never came on to you.
I tell you. And I've seen him on tour, roaring drunk, out of his mind in the early days before he sobered up and went to rehab maybe. Roaring drunk. And it was always with a female.
It was.
Never once. And I suspect
he was
that
not a homosexual.
if you've got a little gay tendency and you're roaring drunk, I'm going to catch him.
Yes, something's going to happen.
Somewhere.
And he would have come on to you because you're a good-looking guy. There's no question about it.
All right, thanks,
if that was going to happen. Find you very attractive.
Well,
now, let's talk about the new single because that's what you're here to promote. It's called Lover to a Friend.
Yeah.
It's going to be released October 29th rather. All proceeds of the single will go to the New York Police Department and Firemen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I applaud you for.
It was going to be, I was originally going to do a show because I was here.
Right.
And I heard Ozzy saying he was here. I was on the runway ready to take off for England.
Right.
Is that right?
When it happened, and the captain said there's been a terrible accident in New York, and those of you off the right-hand side of the airplane will be able to see. So we could see the towers smoking there.
You fly commercial.
Yeah.
Really?
Sure. Regular
With all
kind
your
of
money,
guy.
you don't own a jet.
I don't want to, man.
You don't want to own a
No,
jet?
you know what I mean? All those things, this fantasy, all that stuff, of owning all that stuff. You've got the guy ringing you up, McCartney, your jet's just, sprung a leak.
But what a wonderful convenience for you to own your own Gulfstream and to fly back and forth without having to deal with...
No, not really.
Really?
Not really. I like.
What do you think of that, Robin?
I'm very impressed.
It's great.
Really?
He hasn't let the money go to his head.
All right, you're looking at your watch.
Or the knighthood.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway,
All right,
so
all right.
I was there, yeah.
All right, so you're going to do this to benefit. You're going to give all the proceeds, I guess, to the NYPD and
The
the firemen and all that. The new single is called "Lover to a Friend." So this is about you're always writing about chicks. This one,
Often writing about chicks, yeah.
this is not about Linda. This is about Heather.
Well, you know what? I don't actually know what this is about, and there you go.
If you don't
me and
know-
Ozzy got a lot in common. Seriously, some songs, it's a mysterious process. You just sit down and you start sort of goofing around and noodling around.
Right.
And these words come up, from a lover to a friend, taking on advice. And it was late at night when I wrote it. And I just stuck it on a demo. And people were saying, was this a tribute to Linda? Does it mean this? I tell you the truth, I don't actually know.
Well, it's beautiful because I know if I wrote songs, I would not know what they meant. I would have no idea. Oh, I see what you got. You got one of those watches that is a video camera.
Oh, he just took your picture?
Yeah.
Just took a picture, just for the record.
Well, he
So
does have
evidence.
a few toys.
So you're a gadget guy.
That was nice.
Well, it's. I met some guy. He said, have you seen these? I said, no. Wow. He said, do you want me to get you one? I said, yeah.
You know who's a good catch is your daughter, Stella.
Yeah.
She's good looking.
She is.
And I
Got a good
rich.
gig.
She's got a good gig.
Yeah.
She's got the clothing line or whatever the hell she's doing
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
She's a fashion designer.
Yeah.
And she's going to inherit the mother load. You got to be really careful for her because I would imagine a lot of guys are after her. Where
That's the truth, but it's the truth about anyone. Once you get a bit of money, you've got to be careful.
You gotta be
wherever,
Right.
But you're really in the same boat, if you think about it, as anyone is. Even a guy who hasn't got a lot of money has got to be careful. What, he's going to ruin his life, get the wrong wife.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not all about money.
And do you mind taking a few phone calls from fans who are just so excited
that'd
that
be
you're
cool.
here? Okay, Vinny, go ahead.
Hi, Paul. Hey, what
Vinny.
was Yoko's reasoning for not reversing the copyright credit on yesterday when you asked her to change it to McCartney?
Yeah, that's one of my sort of problems. That's probably one of the reasons we don't have a great relationship. What I wanted to do was, after 30 years of always having John's name in front, on this one song yesterday, people were kind of splitting it up and saying, yesterday, written by John Lennon and Paul McCartney. And I just said, could we just, on this one album, could we just switch it? So he said, written by Paul McCartney and John Lennon.
And she said no.
And yeah, for one reason or another, she said no. And it got
And
into
Paul's
being...
the only one on the record. He's the only one singing on that song.
I
exactly,
mean,
but,
maybe your point is, listen, who knows who wrote what, and
Yeah.
if we start changing this song, what if we change the other ones? Maybe that was her point, but it
Yeah,
would
I
have been a
think
nice
so.
gesture to you.
Exactly.
It wouldn't have cost her any money.
Well, exactly. It would have been
Right.
okay, but, it didn't happen.
Is it true that you, a lot of times, like on the White Album, you told Ringo, don't even bother playing the drums, that you played the drums on the White Album and all that kind of stuff?
No, it's just not quite like that. What would happen sometimes is I'd say, it really should be this feel. It should be this feel.
Right.
And sometimes Ringo would say, well, why don't you play it?
He would.
Yeah.
And he didn't take offense.
No, it was pretty good, actually.
So it wasn't like a big bone of contention.
No, actually, that we were really cool that way, actually. It's and guitar sometimes, George would just sort of say, well, you play it then, It wouldn't, there wasn't a kind of big jealousy like that.
And is it true that you hate the version that Elvis Presley did of your songs? I mean, that was the worst thing you've ever heard. We were playing them the other day, all the remakes of the Beatles songs, and the one you hate the most is Elvis's?
No, I don't hate it. I love it because it's Elvis, and he can't do anything wrong
so
for me,
that's-
even his sort of bad period. Now, I'll tell you what, though, he gets the words wrong on Yesterday, which is nice. I kind of like it's his flaky period.
Right.
And he says, yesterday, all the troubles are fine. It's going great.
Yeah.
And then he just loses it just about halfway through. And I think it's yesterday. No, love was such an easy game to play. Now it looks as though they're here to stay.
So he's not even understanding what he's singing.
But I love it, And the other thing they do on Yesterday, in the middle, I say, wow, she had to go. I don't know. I said something wrong. Now, all the American guys who copy it say, I must have said something wrong. It's like I didn't really.
Yeah, right.
And here's the disclaimer.
I have a follow-up question.
What is it, Vin?
What did you think when you saw your name on Give Peace a Chance, which is so identified with Lennon? I mean, what were your thoughts on the fact that he didn't have the nerve to not put you on the cop, to take you
it's
off
not.
that?
It wasn't to do with that. It's not to do with that. This is all legal stuff. Believe me, if John, had been able to just put his own name on that, he would have, and I wouldn't blame him either. It's just legal stuff.
Sounds like everything comes down to business every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Marianne, you're on your...
Unfortunately, even in art.
Hi, Howard. It's me,
Yes.
Marion from Brooklyn. Paul, I love you so much since I watched you on TV in my grandmother's kitchen. I want to hold your hand to go to sing Wings concert at the Garden. You are the greatest. I thought Howard was the greatest, but boy, you are cool and you sound so great. I love listening to you.
Oh, cool.
And listen, Paul, I wrote a song for Howard. All I need is Howard in my life. But, Paul, I'm going to write you a song. I love you. You made my day. It's been a lousy year, but it's great talking to you and hearing you interview him, Howard. It's so good.
I never, she's part monkey.
It's like the old days when there's screaming fans for you.
You don't get tired of that. I mean, that's good. That's
He's
good
smiling.
stuff. Yeah,
You
you
like
love
that.
that. That's
Oh,
good.
Sure, yes, laugh.
See, that's why I would have worked it into a whole chick thing. I'm not saying Heather isn't great.
I know,
I'm just
but
saying...
Howard, you're different from me, love.
But can you
You're
imagine?
obsessed, and I'm not sure. Are you married or a relationship?
No, I'm
Not anymore.
divorced, but I am in a
Divorced? Well,
relationship.
this is why, Howard.
See, I can't figure it out with me either.
I know, babe, but it's just, hey, look, let's just...
I seem to be a relationship guy, too, because I've been in a relationship for a year and a half.
That's true. Well, this may work.
I'm
But
just trying to
let me-
figure...
Just stop talking about all these other chicks. Girls don't like it.
But Paul, you
you're just
did
talking
have
about-
the experience of having, women melted for you.
Thank you.
They did. They just, they did. I mean, that's a rarefied
He's saying it's
position
shallow.
for a
So-
guy to be in.
Did you bang a
But
lot of
what's the-
famous
what's your
women?
point,
Did you get to bang famous
No,
women?
I didn't bang anyone.
Actresses?
Never. Anyone.
No, I'm talking
I
about
deny
before you
it
were married to
all.
You
Linda.
didn't have any sex.
No sex whatsoever except with Brian Epstein.
How old were you when you lost your virginity?
I was approximately 15.
15 years old.
I think
Because
so,
you were a
yeah.
good-looking kid. I mean, women always came on
It
to
was
you.
difficult, though, believe me, before the Beatles.
It was.
Couldn't get arrested.
You didn't get laid a lot, but you got laid at
It
15.
was a little babysitting moment one time.
Would you sit around and, play guitar for chicks and stuff, and that would get them?
No.
No.
No, that never happened.
That
I
didn't happen either.
They weren't
See, guys figured that
interested.
out much later. All right, 2 more phone calls, and then I'll let you out of here because I know you've had it. But I could see.
You're going to start to get the glazed look.
Yeah, you're starting to get a little glazed. I don't want to ruin this for you. Let me go to Carolyn. Carolyn, you're on the air with Paul McCartney.
You are just coming across the radio right now with such positive. You sound like you're at a place in your life right now where you're just so satisfied with everything. I had to call.
That's what kills me. I've never met a human being more satisfied who could have everything, and yet consumption is not your major drive in life.
I don't know. I'm at a good point in my life. I've had a lot of problems the last few years.
Did you have loving parents or something?
I did. Jim and
perfect-
Mary.
You had perfect
Jim
parents.
and Mary. What about even perfect names?
And they talked to you? Did your father treat you like a...
You had a good
He
relationship with your
treated me
dad?
like a gentleman.
You were able to talk to him about your problems?
Really, not sex.
No, I know. And I don't mean
Everything,
sex.
everything but sex.
Were
we
you
could
able to talk
about.
to your mother and really say stuff without her, making it about her?
Yeah,
You had a
yeah.
perfect childhood.
Yeah, my mum died when I was 14.
All right, that's
that
rough.
was a blow. But no, they were great parents.
Your
They
dad never
really
called you
were
a
cool.
moron over and over again repeatedly?
Dad didn't, no.
No.
Did they encourage you
I'll tell
in
you
your
what,
musical talent?
Yeah, because he was a musician himself.
Ah.
Our house was the only one we could go to rehearse.
Wow.
So he was cool. And he would sit in the other room kind of listening. But it's funny you talk about this sort of parents. And the thing is, he did used to kind of hit me occasionally. That was what they did in those days.
I'm glad to hear that.
Not
I mean,
allowed to do it so
Sounds like a
much these
fairy
days.
tale life, yes.
Yeah, no, but I was, it's not all great.
Right.
But I'll tell you what comes to mind, though, just the memory of the one moment when I was about, 16, 17 or something, and he came in with the usual stuff, and he sort of just slapped me.
Right.
And he said, no, we're having an argument. He slapped me. And I
He
said,
slapped Paul McCartney.
He slapped me. Yeah, he said, hey, man, do you know who I am?
Yeah, right.
No,
With that.
So I just stood there, and it was like an amazing moment in my life. I said, go ahead, do it again. And it was like, whew, and he just went,
That was it. He couldn't do
and he
it.
never did it again.
He slapped a
I said,
Beatle.
Go ahead, This was it. The
It's
record
just-
company would sue him.
Well, you know what? I find it amazing to meet you. You're an amazing man, and certainly a huge influence on probably everyone listening, especially
Yoko.
me and Yoko. I mean, we just both can't believe
Well,
it.
Yoko was an amazing influence.
The new single is "Lover to a Friend." It'll be released October 29th, and I guess the new album "Driving Rain" will be released on November 13th.
Yeah. That's
And
it.
it's out in stores November 13th, so you can get that. And what can I say, man? I don't even know what to say to you, except that I'm a huge fan.
Cool.
And I'm glad you came in here.
I'm glad I came in.
Yeah,
I'm
I
going
mean,
to go back and tell George he was wrong.
Right.
It's okay. It's okay to do the Howard Show.
George the driver.
But Paul, sometimes you wonder about people who because you have branched out into classical music and so forth. Do you find that as enjoyable?
Yeah, it's a good stretch.
I thought your question was going to be, have you ever had sex with a black woman?
Oh, he has. I know that.
How do you know that?
He was with the Ronettes. Come here.
You banged the Ronettes? Look at you.
I think it's time I went, Howard.
Let me smell your hand.
I love your listeners. I love you all. We got a new album called Driving Rain.
And the health of George Harrison. Can you comment on that?
No, last time I spoke to him, he was great.
He's okay.
Yeah, praise God.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You like him?
I love him.
He's not a pain.
He's my
in the
little
ass.
brother, babe.
Oh, he is?
Oh, yeah, the Beatles are my little brothers.
Okay,
Really,
we
thank you
did it. We've been on Howard's show. Yo, man.
Hey, Paul, can I see that picture that you took of him?
You know what? I haven't checked it first. Let me check it first, see if it worked out. Do. It's a little dark. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can. There you go. That's great.
HS by PM.
And you had a good time in there?
Yeah, man, it's great.
As everybody knows, I was always a Beatles fan, buff, They got me started in the music business. And it's like my dream came true today. So, hold on to your dream,